Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ace Alliance Insights, where together with my amazing guests, we discuss all things iGaming, ranging from career tips through innovations, regulations, success stories, affiliate marketing, and more. This episode is brought to you by esimatic, an app that offers affordable eSIM data plans for seamless connectivity. My name is Magda, and I'm the CMO at Ace Alliance. And for those of you who are new here, Ace Alliance is about fostering meaningful connections and driving insightful conversations like this one within the iGaming industry. Today, I'm joined by John Wright, who's been in iGaming and affiliate marketing way more than me. He's been there for over 20 years with experience in affiliate marketing and setting up and managing affiliate sites, and now the co-founder of StatsDrone. Some of you may recognize him from different industry events where he shows up with his team wearing purple t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you here. And if our audience has any questions to John about affiliate marketing or the iGaming industry, please drop them in the comments. And if time allows, we'll address them live. We're going to have a lot of content to talk about, so fingers crossed we have the time for any questions. So, John, let's start from the beginning. Many of our viewers and listeners know you already, but for those who are new here, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how your journey in affiliate marketing started?
Absolutely. So I'm assuming my mic is working fine.
It is, yes.
Okay, good. So yeah, I've been in iGaming for over 20 years. I got started by accident. I had a friend who was trying to recruit me for his card counting team. And I was just like, you can't make money doing professional gambling. I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. To make a long story short, I got into it. Then I learned bonus hunting, playing online casinos, a bit of poker, like all online, sports betting, basically gambling for an edge and making money from it. That gave me exposure to the marketing side of it to say, wait a minute, if they can afford to pay me this money and not go out of business, there must be more behind this. And I saw the evolution of marketing and iGaming from the early 2000s. So that gave me an opportunity to become an affiliate manager and help launch a few white label casinos. So I got to work with affiliates. Over time, I realized I enjoy the B2B aspect. Like I actually like helping affiliates. So I saw how affiliates launch their sites. Eventually, I became an affiliate back in 2010. Now I'm basically, my background is engineering. So I said, okay, let me use my engineering roots to solve problems in iGaming that no one's touching. And that's kind of how I decided, okay, let's start the StatsDrone company.
That sounds great. And how exactly did you step into iGaming?
Yeah, it was purely accidental. So I was in university. I was about to wrap up my degree in engineering, and a friend was just like, hey, I'd like you to join my card counting team. I never did join, but eventually he switched from card counting to playing online casinos. And he's literally showing me checks. He's like, this is like, check this out. And I was like, this is just not real. I didn't believe him. And then one day he's like, yeah, I just bought a BMW M3 Roadster. And I was like, all right, what's going on here? So I went to go see him. We were about 5 hours apart drive in Canada. I went to his office. I didn't see the BMW, but I saw all these computers where people were basically just like eating pizza and playing blackjack. So I was like, okay, there's definitely something real here. So that made me think, okay, this is worth a try. And I spent $500 on my credit card. I was maxed out on debt. I'm like, look, I just spent $40,000 on university. What's $500 going to be for extra debt? If it doesn't work out, I'll just get a real job. And I've never had a real job since.
Yeah. I recently heard something that said, if you put some money into this, maximum you can lose is 100%, but you can earn a lot more. Well, depends how much is 100%. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It is fascinating, and I bet the checks must have been like quite impressive.
Pretty good.
So a lot of our viewers know you from StatsDrone and the industry events. StatsDrone is a super helpful software, especially for affiliate programs. Can you tell us more about the company? What makes it different from similar tools?
Yeah, I'll start with the story. So when I was an affiliate manager, I had some affiliates saying like they wanted like 70% rev share commission to be number one because they're like this other casino gave them 70% rev share. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're going to end up with zero commissions with that 70%. So I got frustrated where there's a segment of affiliates that they didn't care about the actual ROI of their traffic. And then when I became an affiliate, there's a different side of it where I describe this. It's not a term that I invented, but it's called revenue leak. And anytime a program went out of business, I was using another app called Stats Remote, and it never told you that that program went out of business. You would just either fail to connect or the backend didn't go down, but you were never getting paid from it. If a program stopped paying you, then there was no feedback loop to say, wait a minute, I'm on this app every day. I'm not on webmaster forums every day. And some of the biggest affiliates, they don't have time to be on webmaster forums. Same thing if a tracking link was changed. They went from one platform to another. Your old links are now invalidated on the spot. There's no feedback loop. And this is part of what I said earlier about no one was building something to change these problems. And I just said, you know what? I'm very passionate about this, so I'm going to go ahead and start it. So that's kind of like the story of like, why StatsDrone? Like, why are we building something when there are already a couple of these apps on the market? And my strong opinion is I think there actually needs to be a few more. And I think that not enough affiliates actually use these apps. Like my personal estimates are that maybe 1% of gambling affiliates actually will use a stats app. Like the EGR top 25, like they're either building their in-house stats or they're using us or they're using Vunix or they're using Rowdy as two of my main competitors. But the rest of the industry, there's a lot of people like, I had no idea this was a thing. Like you don't Google affiliate stats collector. You just don't do this. And even if you did, you're not going to find us.
Yeah. And also I think until you encounter this kind of problem, you don't even think about it. Like,
yeah.
How would I know I need this kind of app?
Yeah. I describe it as affiliates being problem aware, but not solution aware. Mm-hmm. And when you're solution aware, you know exactly what to search for. But when you're not, there's no searching. You're just kind of like, I've got a problem, but you're just like, the words aren't there to articulate it. It's until they see it, then they're like, oh, like this is a real thing. This would be so useful. And hopefully over time, you know, the next 2 years, I'd like to think that more than 1% of affiliates could be using stats apps like ours and our competitors.
Yeah. I really hope those numbers increase. It's in their best interest, really.
I think so, but I'm biased.
I think not so much. You are on both sides, so you know how it works. Now, can you tell me how can iGaming brands leverage data from their affiliates to drive more effective campaigns? And like, are there specific metrics that you believe are not utilized enough when scaling campaigns?
Yeah, it's a very good question. So I'll go back to another story where I took a course on data visualization a couple of years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I took some of my affiliate data and I said, okay, I'm going to put this through Tableau and just build all these different charts and see what I learned from it. And one chart I brought up was on one affiliate program, and I had two different tracking links, and they ended up with the same bonus, but they're different campaigns, they're different landing pages. And when I looked at the results, one of those landing pages converted 5 times better or made 5 times more effectiveness than the other tracking link. I was like, this was a sinking feeling in my stomach. I'm like, I'm pretty confident we probably lost $40,000 over a span of 2 years by using the wrong link. Like we actually split the traffic into two. And then it's from this experience that I started asking affiliate managers. I'm like, do you know the conversion rates of all your landing pages? And every time I ask this question, I have 2 questions. Do you know the conversion rate of your landing pages? And if the answer is yes, then it's like, would you like an audit of your landing pages? If they say yes to both, it means that you actually don't know the conversion rate of your landing pages. I believe that maybe at best 2% of the operators in the industry actually know the conversion rates of their landing pages because they actively measure it and they're constantly optimizing it. Like there's certain websites or casinos that you just know that they spend time on it because you can actually look at the code and actually see the exact tools they're using. It's different analytics tools, conversion rate optimization tools. I think this is one of the biggest opportunities in iGaming that will benefit affiliates. More operators actually took all the traffic that's coming in from different types of affiliates and said, let's see if we can build a better landing page. What are we going to change? I guarantee that, there's going to be some mistakes that will look better but convert less. But you take that and you say, okay, it's A/B split testing. You're just going to keep iterating and making it better. I'd like to see more of this happen in the next 2 years, and I think it will, but it's going to require companies to build this data and more operators to understand that this is actually something they should focus on.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I would like to shift from that a tiny bit, but not too much. So as you may know, we host iGaming Top Voices at our shows, both at Ref Panda and Ace Alliance. And when we talked about the highlights of the year, a lot of them mentioned regulations and changes around them. So I'm curious, according to you, what were the major highlights this year in the iGaming industry? It's a broad question.
It's a broad one, but it talks upon a topic that not a lot of people enjoy talking about, which is kind of like the regulated market versus the gray market. I think what we're seeing like a stronger growth in the gray market, because I think you've got a lot of regulators that they over-regulate and they don't like I've been in the space for 20 years. I've never had a regulator or someone in the regulated space come to me and say, hey, we want to talk and get your opinion on X, Y, and Z. I think what we're seeing as a big problem is that I think in the last 5 years, we've seen a lot of regulated environments say, you know what, because of regulations, we have to close your affiliate account. And every time affiliates get their accounts closed one at a time, they start crossing over from being a regulated affiliate to a non-regulated affiliate and going in the black market. Also, I think the idea about having licensing and fees and licensing for affiliates is also a major problem. It's like unregulated market, no licensing fees. Like if you want to be a regulated affiliate in the United States and you want all the states, you're looking at potentially $100,000 of investment to get set up. And that's not even a guarantee that you're even going to make that money back. Where I see things getting a bit more better for the future is through affiliate networks. So what's an affiliate network going to do? They're going to make, well, we've already paid for these expensive licensing for where licenses are required for affiliates. We're going to give you the license for free, but you're going to be under our license as a sub-license. And well, what's going to happen is that affiliate network is going to take the equivalent of 20%, but that's going to allow affiliates to actually go back into the regulated environment. So there's all sorts of chats about, what are the pros and cons and where are we going for regulated? I think everyone agrees that we're going to move eventually towards a regulated environment. But I think the frustrating part is that I think a lot of people in the industry that have been around for as long as I have, we feel frustrated that these regulated people come in and they don't have the experience. And I just think the biggest problem is there's less discussion. Like the discussion happens on LinkedIn, but the regulated person isn't going to have an actual literal chat on LinkedIn. They're going to happen at conferences eventually, but it's impossible to meet, at like 10 conferences a year and expect to move the needle on a topic like regulation.
Right. Yeah. It's never an easy topic to discuss. I fully agree with that. So many iGaming brands and operators, they invest a lot in their affiliate programs and they try to attract quality affiliates. And some of them manage this well and they scale up their affiliate programs and get more partnerships, but others are failing to do that. So what are the most significant obstacles iGaming brands face during scaling up their affiliate programs? How can they overcome those effectively?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I'm going to try to talk upon 3 points. One of the first problems we have right now is that there's a growing number of brands being created all the time. Like I think we're adding about 50 affiliate programs per month on StatsDrone, just because they're just being created left, right, and center. The problem there is that a lot of the new affiliate managers coming into the space to fill the void is that they come in with a sales first mentality. They're not trying to build a relationship with affiliates. And that, I think, when I ran affiliate sites, this would piss me off. It's like, what are your top GEOs? I'm like, okay, you could use tools to actually have that answer before you even talk to me. And then they always ask for the number one position on the homepage, which is like, look, I have 2,000 different casinos asking for that same number one position. If you actually want to have a decent conversation with me, let's talk about different pages where I could probably get you not only more players, but better quality players. These conversations just never happen. And I know other affiliates that get frustrated with this. Another point, I did an interview with Adam Rowley from Raventrack. And I said, if you were going to build an affiliate program today, how would you start? Or who would you be your first hire? And his answer, I appreciated. He said, I would hire an analyst first. I want a business analyst that's going to look at the data, and they're not just going to look for getting more affiliates and more players from those affiliates. They're going to go, what quality is coming through there? Can I identify better pages or missed opportunities? They're actually going to look at their data. So I think that's more important. And a topic that I don't think is covered enough on is going, well, what's behind an affiliate program? Let's pretend I'm an affiliate and I'm sending players over. How do I know that I'm getting the best ROI? And this is another topic I don't think is being talked about enough in iGaming, which is that casino doing everything it can do to be the best product for the player, to have like the best VIP program, to have the best CRM such that the player feels special, like they're not neglected or they're put through some really crude, automation pipeline. How do I know that they don't have a bonus abuse problem where if you have enough bonus abusers, you can actually wipe out an online casino? That hurts everyone, because players, if you're a player playing at a casino that goes out of business because of bonus abuse, you actually might not get paid money that's owed to you. And as an affiliate, if you rely on rev share, imagine having all your rev share accounts they're dead on arrival when a program goes out of business. So I think we have too many operations they're easy to create, and there's just as many closing. So we're closing 30 affiliate programs per month. That's just too many. Like, affiliates now have the stress of going, how do I know that you're going to give me that ROI? And that's why we now see a lot of flat fees, like affiliates saying, hey, I've been around for 5 years. I have amazing traffic. If you want me to add your brand, it costs me time and money to put that there, but I need to make sure that I'm not going to just add that and then 6 months later you go out of business. This goes full circle back to data and analytics. Can we use data and analytics to understand what's going on here? And there's certain things that are invisible to us as affiliates. Like, we don't know if you're using tools like Optimove or Fast Track, or if you're using Greco for bonus abuse, or if you're using Warrior Lab to optimize your VIP program, or Blask for market research. I think that's going to change starting in 2025.
Yeah. I love the second point that you mentioned about getting a data analyst first, because I want to say that I am an analytical mind, but I know for sure I would need somebody that can gather everything and give me like really serious feedback about what I have and what I can do, and whether it's going to be working out or not, even. It's simple things, because you can do anything else. Just make sure the data analyst is a solid one.
Yeah. And I think anyone can become a data analyst. Like, you don't need to go through like a 4-year economics degree or finance to do this. But I think if people learn some of these skills along the way, then they're going to be like, wait a minute, now that I have the skills, I need to actually look at the data. What can I do? Even if it's just going through Excel and just saying, okay, just give me a data dump of Excel. People will figure it out, but I just don't think it's a skill that, like, when you go into affiliate marketing, no one's been like, oh, by the way, have you taken any analytics courses, or do you know how to use Tableau? The answer is no to most of these questions, but I think 2025 and beyond, it'll start changing.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with the AI revolution that is happening right now, and helping data analysts, because there's like a million data points, and it's not so easy for a human to get a grasp of it.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to affiliate traffic, it plays really a vital role in helping iGaming brands acquire players and generate FTDs. And this journey often begins with setting up affiliate programs during the brand's launch. So in your experience, what are the key considerations for selecting the right affiliates for an iGaming brand?
Ooh, that's a super tough question. I mean, there's the spray and pray approach, which is, go get your database and, use tools like Ahrefs to find affiliates. But I think like, if I had to go back and be an affiliate manager today and said, okay, I need to make this program make good money sooner than later with quality, I don't like automated tools. So like the AI automations and email automations drive me nuts. It needs to be slow and steady. It's not just going to the big affiliates, because sometimes the big affiliates say, hey, we require this upfront fee that's going to cost a lot of money. So if they're off the table because they require major investment, and the smaller affiliates can take a lot of time to build up, you need to find the middle affiliates that don't quite always require, this massive fee up front. To me, it's just kind of going, okay, I'll use Ahrefs all day long just to find, like, like not just affiliates, but also go, okay, let me look at the quality metrics. I spend time looking at pages that I know have some of their top volume pages. And that would be my message to them, being, hey, I see this page here gets a lot of traffic. I'd actually start asking them questions going, do you find you get a lot of good players coming through some of these pages? My message there is going to stand out from the sea of like, what are your top geos, and can I get the #1 position on your homepage? Affiliates are just tired of hearing that. And as soon as they get that question, they're like, all right, I know you're here for sales, and we're going to have a conversation that's going to waste a lot of time. I want to be able to speak the language of affiliates. And being a former affiliate manager and a former affiliate, I think I've got that as an edge. And I just think this is a missed opportunity for affiliate managers today to not do what I think is the obvious. Set up an affiliate site and get really pissed off to see like the same messages coming over and over again with no regard, like, like just asking dumb questions. Another tip I would probably suggest would be look for affiliate sites, and when you find them, look to see if they have a newsletter. Sign up to the newsletter. So start collecting all the different newsletter messages that come in, know the frequency of them, and go, hey, could I get featured in your newsletter? Can I get a blog post? Do these things that are kind of like planting the seed. And then you, as the affiliate manager, you want to become an analyst and go, okay, now that I have these campaigns, if the campaigns are created for each affiliate, like here's one for the newsletter, here's one for the homepage, here's one, then me as the affiliate manager, I can actually look through my own campaign analysis reports and know, how is this affiliate sending quality traffic? Because if they use the default tracking campaign, this works for affiliates, but it can also help affiliate managers. From the affiliate point of view, if you actually segment all your campaigns, like one per geo, one for the homepage, one for the newsletter, or let's say you have multiple websites, like I've got like 5 different separate websites, you'll get really good analysis. And then that'll tell me where are these better high quality players coming from this affiliate.
Yeah. And you talk about high quality. I want to switch it a little bit. Like, how can brands identify the red flags and avoid any fraudulent or very low quality traffic?
That's a tough one. I think going back to the analyst point of view, I mean, that would be a very easy to report, to go, okay, let me look at, the player values. Like, you're looking at deposits. If there's credit cards, you're looking for chargebacks, and then you're just kind of looking for clusters of data that looks suspicious. When I ran an affiliate program, I'd find websites that were sending very low number of players, but I could tell they were extracting money from the system. They're basically like, they all came from like a similar country, and it wasn't the same country. It'd be like they're just doing this in different countries around the world. But you get one player that plays blackjack and deposits $1,000 and does a single hand of blackjack, and they're basically doing a coin toss. Now you run that through an affiliate account, you're getting 35% on the losses, and if you win, the player just keeps the money in the account and goes to the next month. So I'd see things like this. I'd see players coming from websites that look like they could have been set up in a matter of hours. Right? We all know how to do WordPress and set up a quick, easy affiliate site. I look through stuff like that. Sometimes as an affiliate manager, you're dealing with the other topics like no deposit casinos. Okay, fine. If you want to create a no deposit bonus, you're going to get probably lower player values that come through from it. But at the end of the day, there's just kind of like ways of just looking through the data. I do think more programs should consider tools like Greco, which basically monitor bonus abuse coming in. So one, they're very good at detecting bonus abuse. And considering I was a bonus hunter a long time ago, I hear the space has changed in ways that I could not imagine. Like, you're able to get a bonus, and you're able to play a game and just kind of like wait a couple hours, and then the bonus is magically cleared because the system wasn't built to track all this. There's communities out there that will attack casinos for it. I think operators need to do everything that's possible to go, how are we looking at players, player value? Like these are reports that you can generate them if you spend the time doing it. And if your affiliate software doesn't give you these reports, then it's up to you to actually go, I know the data is there. I need to segment this. And sometimes you can get this in your player backends where you're just analyzing the player data. And to me, you should do that. Look at your players and go, okay, are the best players coming from an affiliate site? Are they coming from your SEO channels? Are they coming from type in? Where are they coming from? If they're coming from clusters of affiliates where certain countries are geos, great. You got answers and you got data. Just not enough people doing this.
Yeah. And honestly, one of the ways that you can kind of not make sure, but like be more positive about avoiding this low quality traffic and red flags is relationships. So what strategies can iGaming operators use to build and maintain strong relationships with affiliates?
And it's a tough question because if you're talking about, let's say, an affiliate like Big Win Board as an example, it's like, you know who you're talking with. Like, the affiliate is going to have like real players, so you're not really worried about like that sketchy traffic. It's usually these random websites that you can kind of they're eventually going to sign up to your affiliate program. That's on you to actually, to try to build a relationship with someone that's trying to kind of like basically extract money from your program that's not going to deliver value. That's where it's kind of like, it's not relationship building. You can try to build a relationship, but if they're cold and their traffic is garbage, then you just say, look, this isn't working out. We need to close your account, or we don't want you sending any more traffic. So it's best that you just kind of stop everything. In terms of the relationship building itself, this is where I think it's very valuable for affiliate managers to go to conferences. Like, stop asking for the geos in the top positions. Like, just go have a meeting, have a coffee, have a beer, have a drink, whatever. Meet them at the social events, have dinner with them. I think this is where the industry is kind of built everything up from meeting in person. So unfortunately, there's more than enough events that we chatted about before recording. But as an affiliate manager, in my opinion, you have to do these things. And when I was an affiliate manager, I used to live in Europe for a couple of years, and I would actually travel to different parts. I'd actually go to Hungary and Serbia and like, France and UK, and just be like, yeah, I'd meet up with affiliates. It's, I don't, I think affiliate managers should consider that. One, if they're willing to travel and providing that, their family life kind of permits it, and two, their program supports it. It's like you go meet an affiliate one-on-one. It's like you've changed the game. You're now top of mind over all other affiliate managers. And yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, affiliate marketing, partners, that implies relationships. And it's something I think has actually gotten worse as time has gone on. We have too many sales-focused affiliate managers that are using CRM tools like HubSpot, like Salesforce, and it's like sales first. I need more affiliates and more FTDs, and it's like us affiliates that have run affiliate sites for a long time. It's like it's the quickest way to be like, you know what, I'm going to treat you like everyone else, and you're going to have to work really hard to build a relationship because you just started off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, I actually couldn't agree more, because like everybody knows we go to events for business, but after all, we're all human, and we should, at least show that we care, that the other person is also a human. It's not our lead only. Don't think, like look through, I don't know, sales sunglasses or something, because from my personal experience, the people that I remember the best from events are the ones that were where I had meaningful conversations, not like asking me, hey, what do you do? What can you offer? This kind of stuff.
And those meaningful conversations become things where if you had that conversation with someone who was meaningful, you're going to recommend them to other people. So, the word of mouth is the most powerful thing in our industry. And I don't think people understand it because it's like, it's very difficult to measure. Like, you're not putting this in a CRM going, oh yeah, how well was word of mouth for our ROI? You're never going to be able to always track that.
Yeah. And I was supposed to ask that question a bit later, but since we are talking about events and expos, we often see you at events,
Yes.
industry events. So I'm curious, how crucial do you think attending expos and conferences is for affiliate programs specifically?
Yeah, it's a tough one. If I was an affiliate program, I think you definitely want to keep going to more and more events. I think the value of growing a program is just too important. Like personally, it's like we go to a lot of events, but if I was an affiliate manager, I'd be like, I need to go to even more. And your job is to keep tracking, going, okay, how many affiliates do we talk to? Sometimes you can actually meet the same affiliate at 3 events, but it's going to be the third time that they finally sign up. Um, I think affiliate managers need to do more of this, and yeah, they've got a really tough job to do. You can't have a booth at every single event because that gets pretty expensive. But yeah, it's we do lots of events. But if you're an affiliate manager, if you want to stand out, it's go to the smaller ones that you'll get one-on-one time. Like for example, went to AFPAPA or the iGaming Club in Malaga. That was great. It was like smaller event. I went to Next in New York City a couple times, and that was a smaller event. I forget how many people they had. It was like maybe 600 people. You're able to have conversations that when you go to a massive event like ICE, which will now be in Barcelona, it's so big and busy. Like you want to talk to more important people. It's the more important the others, the more maxed out their schedule is. They become almost untouchable. Whereas with smaller events, you have a chance to talk to almost anyone. And I think that's the advantage of even some of these smaller events that are maybe more niche. I think that's going to be kind of like not the future of events, but I'm reading that a lot of people in marketing and B2B sales are saying this will become a stronger thing moving forward. And I think you're seeing it already with some of the bigger companies going, hey, we want to make these smaller, intimate events, like Sigma doing a small event in Morocco, Next doing stuff in Mexico, and things like that, where it's like, let's get people into these retreats, as they call them.
Yeah, I fully agree. And actually, I have in my work experience, I also was doing events, and we would do a smaller event compared to Web Summit that was in Lisbon. And I was getting feedback from people, especially from startups, because we were linking, startups, investors, and corporates. And the startups were saying, this is where I meet the investors. This is where I can get, the actual connections and move forward with my company, compared to Web Summit, where you would chase them. But the ratio, startup versus investor was so different compared to our event. So I fully agree with that. With iGaming, we need to really focus on, like I said before, fostering meaningful connections versus making those massive party-like events, which are great if you need to meet a lot of people. But if you want to, really foster the relationship, maybe focus on fewer events, but even smaller ones.
Yeah, I probably should have been your friend a couple of years ago when we were doing the heavy lifting on our company. We're bootstrapped, but we did raise investment, and I can tell you, trying to meet investors at big events is very difficult. Like grabbing their attention is already difficult to begin with.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic about complaining about the world of VCs, venture capital, and investors. Like they like to pretend that they're always accessible, but I've had some of them. They're speaking, and they're like, yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is just here's my email. And I send him an email and I get no reply. I'm like, all right, this is the way it is. But if you're able to have that one-on-one chat, that changes everything.
Yeah. I still have some connections from way back then on LinkedIn. And I didn't invite anybody. So we can talk about it after our live session. So let's go back to relationships with affiliates. So as with many other industries, mutual trust is so crucial between brands and affiliates. So building transparency between partners is critical in maintaining that trust. So how can iGaming operators address transparency issues and ensure accurate tracking with their affiliate programs?
Yeah, I think it's changing, maybe not necessarily for the right reason, but it's changing for the reason why it should be. We're starting to see tools like postbacks and dynamic variables become more accessible to affiliates. And there's certain affiliates that they're basically like, I cannot work with your program if you don't have these tools. Like if you think about a PPC affiliate that needs to know, here's how much money I'm buying traffic. I need to know my ROI is always greater. And the second it drops, I need to actually stop buying that traffic. So you can't have a tool You can't have a tracking system that doesn't have it. So that's a mixture of two things. It's a mixture of transparency, which is another topic in affiliate marketing that not everyone wants to talk about in iGaming, because there's always been people going, well, I think the program could be taking money from me, but I'll never know how to actually track it, because you have to blindly trust them. So I think with these tools, they're not coming because affiliate programs want to be more transparent. They're doing it because they're like, they just want more traffic. And if you've got an affiliate that says, I absolutely can't work with you unless you give me these tools, it's a game changer. So now we're seeing more and more affiliates do this, and more affiliate software providing dynamic variables and postbacks and player engagement even. Like, hey, like I've got this coupon website. I need to know that the player that's actually depositing money, we have this agreement in place. And if you're actually willing to allow my program into your program, then the only way we're going to get this is with some type of live tracking that's either real time or by the hour, and or player engagement, where you're actually going to give me the campaign so I can actually talk to the player and go, hey, we're working with you because we're building a unique app that's not your standard affiliate website. So I think we're going to get there eventually. I don't think it was done to solve transparency. I think it was done because all these affiliate programs are like, they're getting requests by affiliates going, I need this. And now what's happening is, now that some of these affiliates have these tools, they're actually able to pinpoint exactly where their players and the player value is. So they're able to now actually use that and go, wait a minute, not only can I actually track my players, I can actually understand the player value by my own campaigns. That now gets fed back to the operator saying, hey, I'm using these tools. So one, I need the tool to be able to work with you. And two, this is where you are in relation to them in terms of player value and ROI. If you can't keep up with them, then I can't send you this traffic. I think we're moving towards transparency, not because they want to be transparent. They're moving towards it because, I mean, this is the world of tracking that we're in. It's everyone needs data, and they need data to make decisions going, remember when I said back at the start that, I had these affiliates that would take 70% rev share? Those days are over. There's still programs that are like, yeah, we'll give you 50, 60%. The big affiliates, the mid-sized to larger affiliates, they don't care about the percentages as much. They're like, we want a maxed out deal, but we will always monitor our traffic to make sure it's giving the ROI. And transparency is going to make things just a lot better. I think right now it's not easy for programs just to say, hey, we're going to be real-time data, because that in some cases can be expensive. But we are seeing more programs give data back to the affiliate by the hour. And in some cases, we are seeing real-time. So this is going to be the change in transparency.
Yeah. I think being transparent basically from the start is, in the long run, it's really only going to be to your advantage, to everybody's advantage, to be honest. I wanted to talk about a different topic a little bit, about SEO. So at Ref Panda, I see our SEO teams work with hundreds of operators and to support their SEO efforts. And I see a great job that SEO brings new players and FTDs for those brands. And I know that you also emphasize the importance of SEO. So what advice would you give to iGaming brands looking to diversify their affiliate channels?
Yeah, I think they should do the right. It's either do the right thing for the wrong reason. I'm going to mix this up, but here's the thing. If you're an affiliate sending traffic to a brand that is 95% of their traffic is affiliates, as an affiliate, you should be a bit concerned, because if let's say 5 of their top affiliates stop sending traffic, that brand is now at risk of going out of business. So I think you want a healthy balance to say that they're not fully dependent on affiliates, because an affiliate could actually kill the program in a couple of decisions. You want to see an operator that has a balance of SEO traffic, their own paid media, their own SEO. And I think what's happened in the last year and a half with Google doing various updates is, I think they're actually giving more traffic away from affiliates, and it's going somewhere else. It's going to e-commerce. And to me, casinos it's the same thing. It's e-commerce to me. I think affiliate programs now have the biggest opportunity in front of them to get back some of the SEO traffic that they never felt accessible before. So when I run through Ahrefs and I start looking at keywords like casino forum, 2 popular results that didn't be in the top 100 that are now there, and they're not just in the top 100, they're actually prominent, are Stake has their own community. So they started a forum. So it's not just forums for affiliates, operators now doing it. So I think it's Bovada and Stake. They both have their own channels. I think we're going to see more operators do this because they're going to realize it works. It's like, look, this is your own user-generated content. Google's prioritizing user-generated content. So if you're an operator, this is affiliates. I mean, they might not like what's happening right now, and I don't think it's going to change. I think Google's given a little less traffic away from affiliates back to the operators. So you have the best opportunity right now to actually grow your operator search presence. And the best way of doing that is with different types of content. And Rev Panda is probably the best company to actually consider talking to, because you've been doing this content for operators that have been SEO forward thinking. Now it's kind of like, just go do it. If you don't know what content to create or the quality that needs to be created, it's, this is why I think the value in content agencies are mainly understated. It's just by even showing up and creating the content, you're going to see value. Create a forum just as a help community. You're going to see value. You're going to get more traffic. It's just go do it.
Yeah. And I think since SEO is still a long-term game, the earlier you start, the better for you.
Plant the seeds.
Exactly. We're slowly running out of time, but I think we can address a couple more questions. So since we're living in a mobile first world right now, like literally everybody has a phone. Like you're walking on the street, everybody has a phone. You're on a bus, there's somebody with a phone. And so multi-channel campaign tracking has become increasingly complex in today's environment. So what strategies, in your opinion, can marketers use to simplify this process, and how can they ensure that their campaigns remain efficient and effective?
Super tough question. I'll go back to the postbacks and dynamic variables, where if you're able to kind of send the next click and put an attribute behind it, where it's like, this is the geo, this is the device. If you're able to actually segment your campaigns by that, whether you've got an internal link tracking tool, or whether you're using tools like Kaitaro or Volume, the more you segment, the more data you're going to have. It's just going to make your life a lot easier. It's not easy for some affiliates, because I mean, I've been running affiliate sites, and sometimes you're like, you use one campaign for everything. That's fine. Sometimes you're using a geo-targeting plugin to reorganize and saying, I'm only going to send traffic to certain brands because they accept it. That requires a little bit of work. But once you have all these things set up, it's like, imagine just running your sites and saying, okay, you now have the ability to know how many FTDs and how valuable your players are coming from your newsletter, or coming from different geos. If you had all this data, it's super powerful. I think more affiliates are going to start using these things. So it all starts with how you manage your tracking links. And then the second part of it is like, how do you manage your campaigns? Is it dynamic variables, postbacks, which is kind of like, it's like an S2S collection, server to server. And then the second part of it is, for programs that don't have that yet, you're able to create your own unique campaigns. If you can send your traffic through different campaign channels, then you're going to be able to reverse engineer everything. Like, which sites gave you the FTDs? Which channels? Was it the home, the review, the blog posts? These things are super important. And then, of course, by geos, the obvious one. Like, you want to know, like, is Canada actually doing the heavy lifting compared to, let's say, Ireland or New Zealand, for example? This is how you're able to use that information to reinvest back into your sites and going, hey, our newsletter is actually on fire. We need to do more of this. As soon as affiliates have these things, they'll make more changes, and it's up to companies like us, like Vunix, like Rowdy, to basically help affiliates understand that we're here to make these things happen. And either you can do it yourself, which takes a lot of time and work, or you can come to companies like us, and we'll take that pain away from you.
Yeah. And honestly, 2024 has been a great learning for everybody when it comes to iGaming and affiliate marketing. So I'm going to slowly start wrapping up. So let's look ahead at
Yes.
2025. So what advice would you give to iGaming brands regarding their affiliate programs in 2025? Is there something specific they should focus on?
It's a tough one. I'm gonna talk back on some of the things I mentioned before, which is go look at tools and B2B tools that can help make your program better. Like how to stop bonus abuse with like Greco, how to optimize your CRM with Optimove and Fast Track, and how to use tools like Blask for market research. I think these things are important. But I also think that in both the affiliate side and the operator side, for a long time, we've had very little innovation, and I think we need to see more of it. I think we'll see innovation in the form of some AI, but not AI in the sense like, okay, here's another chatbot. Okay, great. We've been there, done that. I think it's kind of like we need new products. We're seeing them more on the affiliate side where Google's now basically saying, we're not going to give traffic to the standard. Here's my review because there's thousands of these reviews. It's like they're a dime a dozen. Google's rewarding more products and people are gravitating towards more products. If you build something that's so powerful or unique or cool, it's eventually going to have that word of mouth proposition. It's going to have that for players going to affiliate sites, and it's also going to have that players going to operators. I think we need to get out of this sameness mentality and say, we need to do something. So if you're an operator or an affiliate and you don't have a 2025 plan for what's one or two things you're going to do that's different, that is either something that no one's ever been done before, or you're going to go into a space that you're not really comfortable with and say, look, we need to get on this AI chatbot game just to figure it out. Do something. This is what I think is going to be 2025 in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I think I usually follow the rule: always be testing. Like you say, let's have 2 or 3 ideas that we want to test out in 2025. It doesn't work. That's fine. We tried it. We learned. We have a lesson out of it. Let's move on to the next thing. Try to improve. Generate new ideas. This is where AI can come in handy. With generating ideas. So let's look at a bit broader perspective about iGaming as an industry. What, in your opinion, will be the trends to watch in iGaming in 2025?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think we're going to see a bigger movement away from SEO. Not to say that SEO is going to die, but I mean, like, let's look at reality. Google's trying to do this AI suggestions and like just basically regurgitate your questions. I think Search GPT and Chat GPT are going to become stronger search engines, but things have already changed. It's like people don't search the way they used to search before. TikTok, that's a search engine. YouTube, that's a search engine. Reddit, they're search and recommendation engines. The way players and people find stuff and the way they buy is not the same. So the sooner that people in our industry realize this, the sooner they can make those changes to go, wait a minute, we need to actually start investing in different channels. This is why I think some affiliates are actually doing better because they're now part of the streaming community. They have their own YouTube channel. In some cases, they're creating their own podcasts. I mean, some of the data is already in front of us. Look at companies like casino.org, look at covers.com, look at Better Collective and go, what are they doing to try to stay one or two steps ahead? And I think people need to look to some of these places and going, who are the leaders and innovators? Like there's some that they're in a high position, but I don't know if they're going to stay there. And it's up to companies that to keep pushing to go, what is happening? To me, I think there's a lot of change that's already happened. I'm just excited because I'm trying to position myself to make sure that we're in that right position, and we're also being super helpful to affiliates to go, I can share my knowledge and insights that I'm gaining from other people, like other smart people, and going, we just need to network more. Like follow people like Gali Hartu, follow Dmitry Belyanin. There's just a lot of sharp people in the industry that they're already thinking 2 steps ahead. Just pay attention to them.
Yeah, and I love that you talked about very different channels because my background is also social media. I've done a lot of things, and back then I would say I don't have to be on every single channel, but then I would look at them like Reddit, you said, or TikTok, or I don't know, Instagram or YouTube. That's true. You don't have to be on every single of those channels, but be mindful of them. Remember that they exist, look for the potential, and if there is any potential, if there are any questions or smart people that you can start the conversation with, just jump in. Now there's Blue Sky, like competitor of X. Jump in, see if there's potential. If there's nobody in your industry doing blue sky, at least secure your handle and be there, you know. So we're going to have to start wrapping it up. John, thank you so much for sharing your journey and expertise. But before we wrap up, is there like one key takeaway or piece of advice you'd like to leave with our audience?
Yeah, I'll just share a quick story that you said, like, try different channels, but don't always necessarily do all of them. I've been big on LinkedIn for almost 3 years. I basically said, I'm going to focus on one channel only. And I said, look, I'm going to do some YouTube, some X, Twitter, but LinkedIn was number one. Now that I've mastered one channel, I can now try another one, but I'm not going to do 5 channels. I'm already picking 1 or 2 more channels as a means of testing. So just like you said, always be testing. I 100% agree.
Yeah, I love that. And for anyone that wants to connect with you or learn more about StatsDrone, what's the best way for them to reach out? Maybe Ice Barcelona?
Always in person. So I'm usually in purple for most of the events, but the evening events, I disappoint people and don't always wear purple. But I'm on LinkedIn. Just look for John Wright StatsDrone. There's so many John Wrights. There's actually 2 John Wrights in iGaming. So it's kind of funny. It's but look for the purple one.
But you're also the John Wright with the podcast.
With the podcast too. But there's a John Wright who's got, I think, betright.co.uk. So he's got a sports book and he's been in iGaming for quite some time. So it's a very common name.
I think now people are going to start recognizing you a lot more, especially through the purple shirts and sweatshirts.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm becoming the more popular one, but I hope for the other John Wright listening that, the noise I make is benefiting him too.
Let's hope that. Fingers crossed. John, thank you again for sharing your knowledge with us. It was extremely fruitful. I've already seen a comment saying that it was so insightful. I saw it on Slack, on my company Slack. So
cool. Awesome.
So thank you to everybody who joined us for today's session, both listeners and viewers. We hope you gained some valuable insights into affiliate marketing and the opportunities it holds within iGaming. And I'd like to thank our sponsor, esimatic, for making this session possible. John, thank you again. It was really great to have you.
Magda, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you all in 2025. Thank you. Have a great day.